Sens win 4-0 in Game 5 of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And they make it a 3-2 series. They bring the series back to Ottawa with a chance to force Game 7. Now, the first thing I want to address, I'm sure you're all thinking it. You're a local Ottawa fan. What are you doing? Look at you. Normally you have the hat, the cape, the chain, the jersey. Why aren't you wearing any of it? Well, you see, my kind viewer, hope is a funny thing. Game 4, the playoffs, I actually had to quite a drive. I think it was all the way up to Montreal. And that resulted in two things. I had an event where I couldn't necessarily wear a jersey. It was a formal event. So I didn't have time to wear a jersey. I didn't wear this polo either, but I'm going to get to that. Going all the way to Montreal, my flag on my car was kind of taking a beating, so I did take it off when I got there. And then I drove back, and I wanted to keep it off on the drive back so that, I didn't ruin it. And then I went to watch the game. And at this point, the place that I went, I didn't have my jersey there. I was at a location where I didn't have my jersey, but I had my polo. So I threw on my Sens polo, right? Good luck. Right? Where's something Ottawa Senators related? It might be the last game of the season. And it went to overtime, and then it hit me. I realized, my flag, it's not on my car. And I was going to go put it on, but then I thought, well, they're in overtime. If they score and keep the series alive, then I know, okay, that's a sign. That's a sign. And if they get scored on, well, then, I took it off a few hours early. And they scored. Okay. I didn't get a chance to wear a jersey all day. I wore this polo. Okay. Game 5 rolls around. It's somewhere else to be. Drive there. It's pouring rain. I don't want my flag. And then it hits me to get ruined. It was another semi-ish formal event, and I thought, wow, just for fun, let's wear the polo and not the jersey, Game 5 in Toronto, good chance that, this could be it. But, if it's not, well, let's see. So I take the flag off the car. I wear the polo. And the Sens win 4-0. Today is the day I'm recording this is Game 6. I'm not wearing a jersey. You cannot pay me to wear a jersey today. And you can bet that I'll put the flag on my car and drive around, and then I will take it off before the game. Because hope is a funny thing. And it makes you do things like that. It makes you find anything you can cling to so that you can believe. Because, as crazy as it is that I'm saying this, I believe it's possible. It can be done. After Game 3, after Game 5, look, we're back at home. If we win at home, if we win at home, who here takes the Leafs in 7? I'm not saying that it couldn't happen. It could. But who would be confident in that? Who? Not many. And even if it did happen, how much of a victory would that really be? Oh, great, you did it on your 4th attempt. This isn't like last season where it was in the Stanley Cup Finals, so you nearly blew it and then you didn't, and that was it. It was the finals, so you win. Then you would need to face the defending champion, and then either of the Carolina Hurricanes or Washington Capitals. Not great. you know? But I also want to go back to what I've said before, which is that we at least need to get to 6. You know, we are facing the team that won the division. They might win tonight. It would suck. They might. But did we not put the fear of God in them? How many Maple Leafs fans are super psyched for tonight? I think the predominant prevailing emotion for Leafs fans right now is fear. Petrified fear of, is this gonna happen? Because before, like, it wasn't even a thought. Like, there was a small thought in the back of their mind where they're like, come on. Like, yeah, oh, it's the Leafs, but we're not gonna blow this. Like, come on. And then we won game 4, and they were like, wow, I mean, it would have been nice to get a sweep, but we're going home. We're going to win at home. Like, come on. And then not only did we win at home, we won 4-0 in a shutout victory. And all those, Marner can't score, Matthews can't score, Tavares can't score, Nylander can't score in the big game, in the game that matters, in the game when you can close the series. Oh, sure, you'll get all the game 1 and game 2 goals in the world, but when it comes down to game 4, 5, 6, 7, they disappear. All those narratives came crashing back. And they're scared. Go look online. Look at Leafs fans right now. They are scared. So no matter what happens tonight, this is an unmitigated success of a season. Yes, it would suck if we lose to the Leafs in round 1 of the playoffs. That would really stink. It would put a bit of a dampen on it, but in terms of what we wanted this season, we got to the playoffs and we won at minimum 2 games. Against a good team that's been here before and won the division. Like, yeah, we put up a fight. We put up a better fight than the Devils, than the Habs, than the Lightning. We put up a better fight against the Lightning, and the Lightning faced a team that finished lower in the standings than the team we had to face. This is a successful season. This is, you know what, you made a fight out of round 1, and that's what I wanted to see at minimum. Because getting swept or losing in 5 in a gentleman's sweep isn't much of a fight now, is it? And then it's like, okay, next season, yeah, win a round. This season, we still could win a round. And whether or not we win around this season, the expectation next season, I don't think is to make the playoffs anymore. I think it's to win a round. That is an improvement from where we were. And that is something that should be celebrated. And the other reason why I'm talking like this and not talking about the R word, about the how have things changed? How did Ottawa start to take the momentum? 1 game at a time. And I also think that's part of why the Leafs are giving away the momentum. I think that a lot, especially Leafs media and Leafs fans, were already talking about round 2. They were already talking about who they were going to face in round 2, what was going to happen in the next round. You do not talk about round 2 until you win round 1. And you do not talk about game 7 until you win game 6. 1 game at a time. Game 4 can't be like, oh, game 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever. You know, let's get to round 2. No, game 4 is game 4. And the Sens played like game 4 is game 4. Game 5 is game 5. Not one of the clinching games. One of the games with a chance. If we start talking about game 7 before we win game 6, we will not win game 6. Point blank. And I know the 2 wins are exciting, and it's making us hype, and it's making us be like, oh yeah, so when we're gonna get to the Saturday, when we get to Saturday, when we get to the game 7, when we get to no. Zip it. Put it in the back of your mind. Leave it there. And if it comes to that, then you can start to take it. I don't want to see any bragging about this series because we are still down. I get that it's the Leafs, but let's not fall into that same pitfall of celebrating before you win. Get to Game 7 before you talk about it. Before you start talking about the potential, the thing that we could maybe do, get to a point where we could even do it. Before we start pounding our chests, let's get there first. Let's do it. And then pound our chest. That's what I said going into this season, right? When we got Allmark, I was like, don't start saying this is the year, this is the year, this is the year, until we do it, because it would look really bad. In November, it was looking bad. I remember all those Red Wings fans that were dunking on us, saying, oh, I thought Allmark was going to make the difference. He did. He did. But don't count your chickens before they hatch. Now, let's talk about that man, Linus Allmark, who got his first ever career playoff shutout. That, I think, is the most encouraging thing. And the second most encouraging thing is the second goal of the game. But I want to talk about the most encouraging thing first. Allmark played good. Played good most of the series. No, not amazing. Not lights out. Played good. We lost 3 games because he played good. And Stolarz played amazing. Played playoff hockey. And a lot of people were saying, this is playoff Allmark. He's just not built for the playoffs. When the playoffs roll around, Allmark, he's good. It's okay. Decent goaltender. He's fine. And you don't need fine in net if you want to win. You need to have elite. And he was elite. In Game 5, he played his best game of the series. And now, I mean, he's never had a shutout in the playoffs. Now we get to see, was this like what Game 4 could have been? A nice flash. What did I call that? Spark or sputter? It still could be a sputter. Now, kind of a spark, but still ultimately a sputter. It's the same question. Is this one real nice moment for Allmark? His first ever career playoff shutout. That's nice. Before he plays good. Lets in 3 goals on like 25 shots. And the Sens lose 3-2. But it played good. Or is this the start of Allmark is locked in, now you will not score? Is this the start of, and then the Leafs got 1 goal in 3 games and lost? Or is this a nice brief moment in time where Allmark got his shutout? Oh, good for him. No, we're happy. He got a shutout. 4-0 win. Nice and convincing. Good for him. Give him the puck. Allmark, what's the thing people say? He's streaky, right? He's hot, then he's cold. He's hot, then he's cold. If there's ever been a time to get hot, it is right now. If you can get hot and stay hot for the next game and then the game after that, should it come to that. But you need to get it there. Allmark played great. That was one of the difference makers. Chabot, first off, I love seeing all like these first ever goals for our players, and it's nice to see. If this series ended in 4, we would have been robbed of a lot of first time goals, and it's nice because getting to see all the big boys get on the scoreboard gives me comfort for the future. Like Chabot can score in the playoffs, Tkachuk can score in the playoffs, Stützle can score in the playoffs. They all scored a goal this game, by the way. Cousins can score in the playoffs. He also scored a goal this game. These are players who can do it in the big games. We need that. We need that. Now more than ever, we need our players to score in the big games. We need all the big boys, Stützle, Batherson, Tkachuk, Chabot, Cousins, Giroux. Everybody needs to play their best game of hockey tonight. Their best game. Better than they've ever played. Because if they do, if Allmark especially, if they do play their best game ever, we have a fighting chance of keeping the series alive. And it's 1 game at a time. Just keep the series alive, right? Just get to Game 5. At least win a game at home in front of your fans. Then, okay, at least just get back home. Now, okay, at least just get to a deciding game. That's where we're at. One game at a time. And the other reason why I think things have changed, Shabbat scores the first goal. Nice snipe, good. The second goal, on the power play. The Leafs have their super duper deadly power play that burned us all the start of the series. Matthews with a weak pass intended for Marner that got at Steels, back the other way, got it to Cousins, who scores 2-0 Ottawa in the third period. And did the Sens just score shorthanded goals in back-to-back games? The first 3 games of the series, the Leafs had, 4 or 5 power play goals? The next 2, they had -2. They actually gave up 2 more goals than they scored on the power play the past 2 games that we won. Our penalty kill is killing penalties. It's really killing penalties. It's actually taking energy out of the Leafs. They are actually giving up goals. And I don't even think we necessarily need to do that to stay alive in Game 6. You just need to keep them off the score sheet. Don't take penalties, and if you take a penalty or 2 at most, don't get scored on. Kill the penalty, and that can help stifle the offense a little bit. This was a good game, and also we lost in terms of shots. So I also think maybe because in the first 3 games we outshot the Leafs and lost all 3, and then in the next 2 the Leafs outshot us and we won both of them. So I think the strategy going into Game 6 is let them outshoot us. Just don't let them outscore us. Let them get 15 shots at the start of the first period. Make sure that they're all point blank, super easy saves. And now the shot count, won't matter for the rest of the game, and we can cruise to victory, because clearly taking shots on the goaltender is somehow bad this series and is something to avoid. Wayne Gretzky said you missed 100% of the shots that you don't take. Well, I think you also miss 100% of the shots that you do take in this series, because how has this trend continued for 5 games? The playoffs are weird. But a 4-0 win, an empty netter by Stützle and an empty netter by Tkachuk. I get it, they're empty netters, but that box score can't feel too settling. The Sens scored 2 empty netters. Have you seen this team with an empty net? They're awful. You pull your goaltender against the Sens, you aren't going to get scored on. It's actually, I've seen jokes where it's if teams don't want to get scored on by the Sens, they should just pull their goaltender. It's more effective than having a goaltender in. I've seen that joke being said, because we have struggled this season to score on the empty net. We scored twice. Put the game away, brought the series back to Ottawa, and have a chance to keep it alive. But a chance is just that, a chance. A lot more needs to happen. That's a lot of hockey to be played just to even get the opportunity to think about maybe doing the thing. But no matter what anyone says, no matter the result of Game 6, and even if we win, no matter the result of the next game, we made it competitive. We made it a series. No one can say we didn't. No one can say that we didn't play our hearts out when it mattered most. Kept our season alive longer than a lot of people gave us credit for. And genuinely challenged a team that, on paper, was supposed to handily beat us. And didn't. Even if they win Game 6. Even if the Leafs beat us. They can't say it was easy. 2 of their wins came in overtime. We can quite literally say we were 2 goals away from round 2 if we don't make it. Because, yeah, if those 2 overtime losses, if we score in those games, we win. We win those 2. Now, we got an overtime win. We found a way how to do it, but the Leafs did not get to cruise to victory like some pundits thought they would. we put up a fight. And for a team that hasn't been here in 8 years, putting up a fight is impressive. Other teams that have been here more recently than us put up less of a fight. The series isn't over. We have one more game at home this round. You don't want to get eliminated in front of your fans, do you? You want to give your fans hope. Hope is a funny thing. And Ottawa has given me hope again. And now they have a chance to give me hope another time. And as always, go Ottawa. Go.